Hello, I'm Candid Frank Stanisci. I'd like to welcome you, and I appreciate your participation in watching the program. This is NLL Lacrosse Talk. Welcome to the Spanglish World Network on Zingo TV, channel 250. Please remember to download the Zingo TV app at the respective app stores for iOS and Android devices. While you download, make sure you rate and leave a comment. Both apps are absolutely free. Zingo TV is available on Google Chromecast, Amazon Fire TV sticks, Roku sticks, and also on all smart TVs 2016 forward. Now here on NLL Lacrosse Talk, our co-host as usual, Gary Groob, and a very special guest, former NLL Vancouver Warrior and Peterborough Lakers, Shawn Evans. Shawn, pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you guys too. Thanks for having me on.
Well, the first question we always ask, and it's always probably the most important one: what made you pick up a stick?
Wow, come from a big sports family here in Peterborough, Ontario. I had three older siblings, two older brothers, an older sister, and I was the youngest of four. So I just kind of got born into it. I think I had to stick my hands around 2 years old, just competing with my siblings. And, my dad and my uncles were all involved in hockey and lacrosse. And I just came naturally involved into it and picked up a stick at an early age. And, I always had that drive and competing against my siblings.
You had a stint with two different Peterborough teams, one the Lakers and one the Petes, a little short time. What happened to the hockey? Why did it go off the wayside?
No, hockey, it was good. I got a chance to play with Peterborough Petes. I earned my spot through tryouts. I had an open tryout. I kind of was a fighter back then. I kind of fought like, 2 times a game. I just kind of stuck up for my teammates, and, being 5'7", that role wasn't gonna last for long, because every time you fought somebody, they would bring somebody else bigger, stronger, and try to go you. So, it was actually a good experience. I to play with Jordan Stahl. He was my line mate, Pittsburgh Penguins player there, and he's done well for himself. But I got to play with a few good hockey players, and I got the opportunity to play at the highest level in the OHL, and then I decided to go to the lacrosse route, and went on a full scholarship after playing 4 games to Bellarmine University in Louisville, Kentucky.
How did you take your experience in hockey and bring it to lacrosse? We always talk about the similarities because you play in the same arena, the contact, all that stuff. But what, from your perspective, did you bring with you?
It was just a natural thing that we did here, in Eastern Ontario and Canada mostly. We have like a little bit of a hotbed of lacrosse, and obviously hockey is always big in Canada. It was hockey in the winter, lacrosse in the summer. I just like to compete. I like to, out there and work hard and compete. And, I couldn't wait to put my lacrosse stick down when the summer was over and pick up my hockey stick. That's one thing I see nowadays of a lot of kids just picking one sport and going at one sport, where, there's nothing better than trying multiple sports and competing at different things and learning different aspects of each game and kind of using and taking it all in and then putting it together in the sport they end up picking lacrosse. So yeah, the hockey and lacrosse coincided each other, and I had fun playing both. I had lots of friends in both, and I just it was just one of those things that you switched up and and played multiple sports.
What was your favorite thing about lacrosse to play?
I think it's more of the physicalness, the competitiveness. There's nowhere to go. When you play when you're playing box, there's no escape. You got to get in there. You got to compete, and just the thrill to win. I always had that winning factor, and I always wanted to compete, and I hated losing. Everybody should hate losing. I always wanted to win, and I was a sore loser as well. So, I got to learn from that. But it's just one of those things. I love playing. I love hanging out with my friends, my teammates. I think that was the most important piece to it.
I don't think you're alone. You're just one of the only people I know that admits it.
I'm honest. I'm honest.
Gary?
I want to bring back to the minor league lacrosse. We had a lot of guys on from Peterborough. We've had a lot of guys from Orangeville. And what makes Peterborough so special that the programs are so great, that brings up these Laker teams year after year after year after year, and predominantly from the Peterborough area? It doesn't usually have a lot of guys from the outside area brought in. It's usually predominantly Peterborough.
Yeah, I know. I think it's just, the history of the town, and having past lacrosse players giving back and being involved in the game and helping out and coaching. I think that's the biggest thing, is having people, that know the game, that come in and coach it. And you get to learn at an early age of, you know, some of the main components of lacrosse, and kind of your stick work, and basically some of the guys, just the coaches that you had, that just put in that drive to win and compete and outwork the next person, the other team, just outwork somebody else. And I think when you can understand that and get your head wrapped around outworking somebody, everything else just takes place, because that's the biggest thing. If you can compete and outwork somebody, you're gonna get a lot of opportunities, and your team's gonna be successful.
Right. Now, the one thing I love going up to Peterborough on game day. I love going up early, actually, because everywhere around town, it's talk is all about game day. It's on the buses, it's in the bars, before the club, going to Sticks, and seeing all the alumni and talking with them before the game, and then heading on over and up in the alumni box and talking with all the old Lakers all through the game. It's amazing. But the whole ambiance and the way the town all comes together for game day is something that always gets me. It's chills watching that.
Yeah, I know, you kind of give me goosebumps right now too. But that's something I played all over Canada, and the States. Obviously, some of the NLL teams, it's a whole different level. But when you come here and you have the support of the community around you, sold out fans that know the game, that will heckle you when you're not playing well, and that will cheer you on when you are doing well. So, you have passionate fans here, and that's one thing I'll miss. But I got to do it for a long period of time, and got to help my team, the Peterborough Lakers, thrive in Man Cups, and help see the city grow. And with the passionate fans and the community, and it's something special we have in our town, and playing with your friends that you grew up with too. That's a huge part of it. We're not only winning championships. We're playing with people that we played with growing up, and that's what makes it that much special. And then you got family, friends, neighbors coming to the game, and then everyone's just talking about it, and it just makes it that much more better when it's in your hometown.
Sure. Now, your junior career, I guess Dad was coaching, wasn't he?
Yeah, my dad coached my last year of junior. Well, yeah, my second year last year of junior, when I went to Six Nations. But I had a couple of different coaches, John Martin, I had Dunner, and then my dad came in the second last year there, and we're thankful to win a Minto Cup.
You won 2 Minto Cups, right? One with Peterborough, and then the next year you got traded over Six Nations and won with them. But these teams were amazing. You take a look at them, and any NLL team would be, just absolutely drooling to get this kind of talent.
Yeah,
and it's like two all-star teams facing each other.
Yeah, it was. Those years were great. First year in 2006 when we won Peterborough. I had probably about 13 childhood friends that we grew up with. Playing and competing and having fun and enjoying it. We brought in Aaron Bold from Victoria, BC at that time. And he's one of the best goalies in the league. So we're thankful to have him. And, it just changed the aspect of our game and allowed us to play. And, and then, winning that year, it gave me the opportunity to kind of see my options. And, I went to Six Nations the following year and got to play with guys like Cody Jameson, Sid Smith, Craig Point, like guys who are all stud lacrosse players. And, Ben Van Avery, Six Nations born and raised goaltender. So it was just a great opportunity to be able to play in my home city, and then, go play on a reserve and get to learn their culture and learn how things work, and winning that championship there as well. That one was a little bit harder, where we almost lost to New Westminster in the semifinals. But we kind of have a little turn of events and scored 3 goals in the last minute to, make it to the championship. And then we end up beating Burnaby. So it was, those were great years of my career.
Right. That was Brock Sorensen's long shot that won that thing.
Yeah. Well, Brock Sorensen, Kyle Sorensen on the back end in Peterborough, Corey Vitarelli, Matt Curry grew up with, Kyle Clancy, like my cousin Chad, like there's guys that I grew up with. Brock Sorensen, who was a younger guy at that age. I think he was his second year in the league, but he's 6'4", big guy, and learned from his brothers, learned from us, and had one of the biggest goals of his career. We tied it up against Burnaby. Corey Borelli scored a backhander and or hit the post, got the ball off the rebound and scored, and then Brock Sorensen in overtime against Burnaby scored like 50 and just a weird bounce and went in. So it's a great memory to have.
Yeah, for sure. And you had a really great, looks like that year and a half or so right there with 2 Minto Cups, a Man Cup, an NLL championship, all in the same little slew of about a year, right?
Yeah, that year was a great. My momentum just carried me on. I had the compete level, and I was at the top of my game, just coming, finishing my junior years. Got to play senior. Got to have some experience playing with my brothers, guys like John Grant Jr., Tracy Koleski, Matt Giles, John Tavares. List goes on and on who I played with, and just to learn from those guys at 16 years old and 17 years old. I just got I'm one of those guys that just took everything in and learned from stuff that they did and tried to incorporate it in my game. And playing with some of the top players in the world at an early age, I think really helped propel myself to the next level.
Now you spent a year at Bellarmine, right, over in Kentucky, and it was a new program when you got in. Talk about you could have gone anywhere, I'm sure. Why there?
Well, I don't think my grades were the best through the high school years, but I know there. I talked to a coach, Jack McGetrick. He's passed away. He passed away 2 years into the program. He just reached out to me and kind of offered everything at me to come there. They said they're starting a new program. I was going to start. I liked everything about that. So, it was a great spot. Louisville's a good area, but I played a year there, and I was eligible to go to the NLL after that, and I was watching my brothers play, and I kind of had that itch to get to the highest level, and just kind of made that transfer over.
Right. Let's talk about that. You went, I think, second overall in the 2005 draft, 2006 draft, and it didn't look like you went to Rochester, but it didn't look like you were going to go there. Talk about that.
Yeah, no, I was. My first pick was at Edmonton, and I thought I was going to be going there. But they had Paul Day, I think, made a trade last minute to get me in Rochester because Rochester had second pick. And it just kind of worked out that way that the trade happened and they kind of swapped picks, and or Edmonton had second pick. I think Portland had first. Could take Brody Merrill. And then just happened to go to Rochester, which, my brother was there. John Grant Jr. was there. Patty O'Toole, Mike Hazen, Steve Toll, Shawn Williams. I couldn't have asked for a better group to go to. For the best years of my life. For the first 6 years playing with those guys, they knew how to do it. Being a younger guy coming in at 18 and being drafted to Rochester, learning from experienced guys like that, just taught me the ropes of the game and taught me how to have fun, but, compete at the same time when it's time to step up. And I was fortunate because in 2007 we won the national championship. So it's pretty,
that was an amazing year. I think you lost the first 2 games and then didn't lose again.
I think we went 14-2 that season, but I think we could have won another championship or two after that. But we had a great group, and it was funny how that happened because 2007 we went 14-2. John Grant Jr. scored an OT against the Buffalo Bandits to put us in the championship game, and our game is supposed to be held in Rochester, New York. And we're going to have it in front of our fans. Everyone's excited. And then the circus came to town. So
I remember
it was
that.
like only lacrosse right now that would happen. The circus came to town, so we couldn't get our building at all. And we had to go play the game in Arizona. So I wasn't too mad about that, going to Arizona for a few days to soak up the sun. And we're fortunate enough to win the championship.
Right. The only thing that sucked was your fans couldn't do it and your family couldn't have been there for it. And a little hard to get everybody out there all the way to
100%
Arizona.
though. But overall, we would have loved to have the family there supporting us and stuff. But who knows if we would have won or not? So we end up winning, and we'll take it. And it was unfortunate we weren't able to have family over, but it is what it is.
Right. Sure. Now let's talk about you mentioned you played with your brother Scott. You guys actually were like yin and yang on the floor. Of course, Scotty's a little bit bigger, but that didn't stop anything. You were actually the more feisty, I would say, of the two. It was always great watching you guys because I made many trips to Rochester. I caught most if not all of your career, pretty much everywhere you went. Talk about sibling rivalry that became actually teammates.
Yeah, it's kind of what made me as a player. Growing up with my brothers and sisters, it was always compete over everything. If it was playing cards to do dishes, or laundry, or everything always turned it. Didn't matter what, if it was playing Nintendo or mini sticks, it always turned into a fight. So being the youngest one, I always had to compete with them, and I always knew what was going to happen at the end of it. So to be able to play with my brother in a different circumstance, we obviously had our battles on the way up driving in the car because that's a sibling love there. But to play with each other, we always knew we had each other's back. And, if one thing happened to one person, the other brother would be in there. So it was nice to have that. It gave you that little bit more of a cushion to be able to do what you wanted to do. And knowing that someone had your back was always a bonus.
Absolutely. And of course, it went on with the Peterborough Lakers as well. Both of you played for years together there.
I was fortunate enough to be able to play, I think 5 or 6 years with them at the highest level in the NLL and then for the Peterborough Lakers. So learned so much from my brother and his compete level and, having his teammates' backs and just on and on. So just fortunate enough to be able to do that. And, and then after that, the rest is, we get older, right? So.
Yeah. Well, your career through the NLL, 18 years, you had 879 points, which is fourth most. 1,358 points, or fifth most in the NLL regular season history. 270 games. You had a chance to tour. I think it's about 6 teams you played for.
Yeah, no, I had a big stint in Rochester there. I went 6 years in Rochester, and then you kind of seen everybody that leaving there. Kurt Stires came in. The dynamics started switching up a little bit. And then I one day I just got a phone call saying that I was traded. So, I got traded to the Calgary Roughnecks, where, it's one thing that I wish we won that championship. Forget what year it was, but we lost in the finals to Rochester by a goal, but I thought we had it in the end. I mean, Rochester scored 2 goals, so I would have loved that championship back. But those years in Calgary.
Yeah, that was the first of that mini game thing. Yeah.
So, those years in Calgary were probably, my best, separating from myself from the guys in Rochester and now going on my own were my best years of my career. I think I put up 3 or 4 100-point seasons during that time. Got to play like Jeff Shatler, Dane Doby, Curtis Dixon, Caleb Toth. I got to play for a year. Just a different experience, different players, but we had a great dynamic there. And then that carried on to, I was out there for 4 years doing the West Coast thing and having my kids at home as well at that time. I had to kind of make my way back to the East, and New England came in at the time. I think they were there for a year or two when I got traded to New England. Being the captain of New England Black Bulls for, I think, 3 years out of the 4 that I was there. I think, I kept my game going there. Got to play with Kevin Crowley, Kevin Buchanan, Kyle Buchanan. Got to play with guys like that. And I think we propelled that team to, playoff mode. And had great years there. You couldn't really beat that. You're, playing in the Mohegan Sun with the arena right in the building and casinos, restaurants, everything you think of right inside the building. So you don't see the light of day for about 3 days there. So it was a great spot.
You had a little bit easier time getting out to Mohegan Sun, and I had Boldy on the show, and we're talking about how we needed to take 2 planes, 3 buses, 4 cars, a cab, this hitchhike a little bit just to get over to Mohegan Sun because it wasn't really on the hub of anything to fly
no,
in.
100%. It
The
was the
travel
easiest
must have
spot to
been
get to,
something.
but it was just another opportunity for me, another spot, a little change up for me as well. And then from there, I believe I end up in Buffalo. From there, I would have loved to stay in Buffalo to finish my career. But the new expansion team came in, Rochester came in. I had a great year and a half in Buffalo. Obviously making to another championship, fell short in, but playing with guys like Dane Smith, Chase Fraser, all those guys on that team there too. They were younger guys at the time, and Josh Byrne, one of my favorite players to watch is Josh Byrne. He just, I knew at an early level when I seen him watching a game in New Westminster. He's one of those rink rats, loved the game, competed, and he does everything that you can think of in the game of lacrosse, where he drives the net hard, he feeds the ball well. He's an ultimate team guy. So watching him play and seeing those players develop and seeing what they're doing now is pretty fun and cool for the game. And then after that, we went to
your style really would have fit into Bandit Land well too.
It was a great atmosphere, close to home too, easy to get to. But having that chance to go back to Rochester after that, I'm like, okay, well maybe I'll finish my career here in Rochester, where I started. Dan Carey was there. I think I played 2 years there, and kind of things were kind of getting a little shaky there, and I thought, what, I'm on my last kind of life there, last leg there, and I thought I'd try to go win another championship, and it probably wasn't my smartest move, but then I got traded to Halifax there when things kind of hit the fan there when they're on a 5-game winning streak, and then with COVID going on and that stuff kind of got in the lineup, got out of the lineup, and just things didn't work out there. So, but overall, I got the experience of Vancouver the following year. I probably took a year off my life traveling back and forth from the West Coast again, especially with 4 kids at that time, all involved in sports. But Vancouver is a great city, great organization, and I couldn't ask much more to finish off there and get the opportunity to play there in the West Coast and expose my game to another city. So I think
gave you another chance to play with Cordy too, right?
I like Troy. Troy's one of those guys that he's all heart. He leaves it out on the floor, and you gotta know his passion for the game. And too bad we couldn't make things work a little bit better. But it was a great time in Vancouver, and after that year, it's kind of if I wanted to play anymore, I probably would have to start all over again with a new team, and with the injury coming off from Rochester or from Peterborough and playing that year, it's made it a little bit harder. And with 4 kids involved in sports, it just made sense that I've done enough. I got nothing else to prove, to the lacrosse world, and I enjoyed every moment of me playing and the experiences that I had.
Right. Did a lot of decision. There's a lot of back and forth before you decided this is it. I'm going to retire. Because after 18 years, I'm sure that it's there. The travel, everything else, you're used to it. Are you still with us, Shawn? Can you hear him?
It doesn't. I think I can hear him.
Shawn, can you hear us okay?
Looks like he's moving. Maybe he got asked to move.
Maybe he
got asked to move.
It's an interesting career, though, for him. Like I was saying with him, he's back. Awesome. My question was, when you did finally call it career, was there a lot of going back and forth of maybe I can play another year, or this is it? I know it's the writing's on the wall.
No, you kind of sense it. Like talking to some teams, I was iffy about it. I was trying to see if I can maybe go to Las Vegas for the last year and talk to different teams, but just feeling it out. You could sense it. And with me, I was getting I wasn't in the peak shape too, like getting older in my day, with kids playing sports, running around, missing a lot of time at home. It was getting harder. It was getting harder. Like
Yeah.
after each game, my body would be sore. It would take me 4 days to recover and get back into it. And that takes away from home time when I'm at home with the kids. And then I'm basically getting into another game. I start feeling better and I start getting into another game. And then it takes me 3 or 4 days just to recover with the injuries and the body staying in top physical form too, right? So it got harder, and then it was just a decision that I got nothing else to prove, and I've done a lot in the lacrosse world, and it was just a good opportunity now just to kind of pack it in.
Is it important
Right.
the expression of value that the prospective team that you play for has is higher than lower? Like, I guess I'm asking because when you get older, you don't want to you want to be a part of the team.
Yeah.
Right. If you're
No,
going to sit on the sidelines.
I think you're right. You kind of want to be wanted. The whole career, my whole career is, like you're there, you knew what you're bringing to the team. You just kind of feel it later on. You got a lot of these young superstars coming in now. A lot of great athletes, physical, top shape athletes coming in, and all skilled all around. So you're coming back into a lineup. You got to find that role again. You got to find that where you fit in. Just a lot to go with it. So just to start over again at year 19 or year 18, whatever it was, and to kind of start from the scratch again. It was just it was just one of those things that I just didn't have it in me to do anymore. I think it was being off. I don't realize how much time I missed from home.
Right.
And how busy it is. Me leaving every weekend with playing lacrosse and leave my wife at home to go to the sports and dances and everything that my kids are doing. I'm doing it now. I'm like, oh my God, I'm busier now than I was playing. I think it was taking the easy way out. Going to play was the easy way out.
Right. Well, you also never gave yourself a break because you played all summer too in Peterborough. And then you get about 2 weeks off, and then you're getting yourself ready for training camp, and then you're on with the NLL season. So it was a continuous grind.
No, it was continuous grind, and just one of those things that, I hemmed and hawed for a little bit about it. I was hoping to, maybe get on with one of the newer teams, but then when I kept on going back and forth, I was like thinking of everything that, I got to get back into compete and get into the gym and get in top physical form again. That's just step one. Step two is now finding a role on a team and getting in there and finding where I fit, and starting over with a whole new group of guys that I got to learn to get to know, because if I'm going to commit, I want to commit 100% to the team and be there and make sure to push and teach the younger guys as well. So I just hemmed and hawed about it, and it was just I came to the conclusion that this was it for me, and just be happy for what I've done and what I've done in the lacrosse world, and just be thankful for the opportunity I've got to do and explore the world and the opportunities that came after that too.
Right. We also didn't make the mistake that a lot of athletes do and stay on just a little bit too long and kind of tarnish the image that you already have. And you got out and you were still on the top of your game.
Yeah, and that's what I was thinking too. Like, I thought I started playing better in Vancouver after the first couple games under my belt after the injury. But so, I mean, I could have went back in, but it's kind of a lose-lose situation. Am I going to be at the best? Am I going to be playing every game? One of those things. So it was that timing to just hang them up and be thankful and be happy for what the game has given to me and the friends and teammates I've got to play with. And, I got to play on 6 different teams across the country and explore different markets. So I have nothing to nothing but to be thankful for. So yeah, I think I got out at the right time. And, I think 18 years and playing all year round for 18 years was a lot on my body.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's talk about the MSL and the Peterborough Lakers. And yeah, you won 8-man cups. Like that's unheard of. You're the leader in that one by a long shot. Let's talk about just the Laker mystique. And I guess your first one was in 2004. Well, you were still a junior at that time and came up.
Yeah, it was 2004. I think I was my first year, second year of junior, and I used that as an opportunity that I wanted to prove myself. Every time I stepped on the floor, I wanted to prove myself. And my biggest thing at that time was, I thrived on ground balls and picking up loose balls and in those tricky areas and in those tough areas to get to, just to give a spark to our team, get the fans going, and whatever I could to make that team better and to contribute. And I think I did that, and I think that's why they kept me in the lineup. I think Jamie Batley is a coach for those probably 8 to 10 years in Peterborough, and he got everything out of you, and he knew the game well, and he pushed it to the limit. So I got to learn at an age from with all these older guys and those veterans just to go out there and compete and work hard. And I wasn't the guy that was scoring the goals. I was the guy that was working hard, picking up loose balls, just to find the role to fit in with those guys.
Right. Of those 8-man cups, is there any one in particular? I know that like there's lots of great memories and great moments. Is there any one that stands out to you as, wow, that's amazing to win that?
Yeah,
man cup?
there's a few of them. All of them are kind of like, get a little emotional thing about them, but one I got to play in 04. I think I got to play with both my brothers and win the Man Cup. That was a special moment. I think the other one was in Victoria a few years back there. We were down 2-0. I missed my sister's wedding. So that was kind of
that's dedication.
Yeah. That one hurt a little bit. I had to miss my sister's wedding, but she booked it on the Man Cup, and I had to make that tough choice. And my team was kind of the championship was kind of what I've done up my entire life. So I made the choice to go there, and it was a day of her wedding, and we're down 2-0, and we're down by like 2 goals, I think, with like 4.5 minutes left. And I remember coming to the bench and realizing that I was missing a wedding, and I don't know what sparked in me, but I went out there and I think I got 2 or 3 goals in the last 4 minutes, and we won the game. And I think we won four games straight after that to win the series 4-2. So that was a kind of a special one too.
Right. It was a fantastic career in Peterborough. I'm always lucky. I get up to the alumni box, and with all the other guys there, I love watching it. I love watching you play because of your grit. It didn't matter size. You proved that size doesn't matter. When
I appreciate that, Garrett. I got to being a smaller guy, you got to go out there and work hard, and that works. The other team, and I think if you show that, some players will let up, and you can kind of take advantage of that. But it just shows. I've had a lot of people come up to me over my years in different cities that I played in, and always them being the smaller ones, just starting out playing lacrosse, and kind of looked up to me because I wasn't that big, and and they gave them an opportunity to play lacrosse because they see me playing, and hearing those things kind of it gets to you a little bit, where it just shows you that you're doing the right thing.
Right, because I've used you as an example for a lot of people saying, no, you have to be a big guy to do this and play sports. No, take a look at these numbers. Take a look at this, and take a look at this video. And, you've been a prime example for me to show other people that, no, you don't have to be 6'4". Us guys can still do it too.
100%. If you really put the work in and practice in it, and you can strive to reach your goals.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now you jumped into coaching. When did this dawn on you that you wanted to coach? Because I don't think you did much of that while you were playing, because you're pretty focused on just doing that.
Yeah, I told myself every time when I was playing, I wasn't coaching because my mindset was playing. Coaching and playing mindset is totally different. So I never wanted to have something else in my mind that I had to think about. So when I played, it was always compete and teammates first, and my team was first. So I didn't want to get into that other aspect of coaching. But that last year there, knowing that I was kind of hemming and hawing about coaching, I kind of reached out to, I was talking to Mario from Switzerland there in Switzerland, and Lucas and Zweifel, guys that are on the Swiss national team. Where in 2015, right. I got an opportunity while playing in Syracuse with Team Canada to practice with them. Just built a little bit of a relationship and kind of talked with them, and they said they're interested in having me on board to coach. So I was just trying to kind of find something that keep me in the lacrosse while I retired to be able to do that and stay involved in the game and not just give it up completely. So to
Right.
have the opportunity to go explore, a different area of the world, Europe, and showcase the game and teach the game of lacrosse. It's just a whole new level of, I got to do it all across North America, but now it's going over there and teaching, a different country, the sport of lacrosse and getting them to compete. And it just worked out that, I go over there every now and then. I'm actually leaving to Prague here tomorrow for the E-Box Nationals there in Prague.
Wow.
Right. I'm leaving Sunday for Prague. I'm there with the Gales.
Are you going down with the Gales? Yeah. Well, I know they asked me there, but I was already down there with them, so it's gonna do both.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love that box there in Radisson. It's amazing. That whole
it's one of those
setup.
experiences where you get people from all over the world in one spot, and to see it, how much the European players love the game of lacrosse, the ones that are involved in lacrosse, and you bring them all to one spot, and you have some Americans, you have Canadians, some Australians, like people all over the world come to this one spot, and to see it and how big a tournament it is, and how well they do it up is one of those experiences every player should see.
Yeah. I last year was my first look at it live, and I was amazed at how European lacrosse has come its way up and competes very well with North America now. And us in North America, if we're not careful, it's going to be like hockey.
Yeah.
And
no, 100%. And I think that's where it's going. And I think that's why, like myself, go down and help. And I know Kyle Sorensen's teaching or coaching Austria. Some players from here that know the game really well. Going there and teaching the game and showing kind of the proper way to do things. And that the biggest thing is that compete level and that drive. The skill will come if you're willing to put the work into your stick skills, but it's that work ethic that you got to kind of drive in them and just teaching the game a little bit more. So to have some players like that go down from the National Lacrosse League and players that played for a long time and showcase and show them the game is, a good stepping stone for them to kind of grow and you're seeing it grow each year.
Yeah, and you've moved it from assistant coach to head coach now.
Yeah, now I took on the role this year as head coach, and I brought in another guy from Canada to help me out, and we're just excited for the European World Championships in Utica in September. So we're just getting things going. This weekend will be our first test. I think we play Hong Kong, Scotland, and Norway, I believe, are the teams that we're playing. So all these different countries that we're playing, right. And it's pretty great.
And did I see it right? You're coaching Chocolax also for the Rebeski tournament?
No, I think I'm going to be stepping in there and playing a few games with them.
Oh yeah, awesome.
I played a couple of games last year with them, just to help them out. But this year, I think I'll actually play a full tournament in there and play with some of the Swiss players that I coach, and and just have a little fun tournament, and enjoy the experience down there, and take it all in.
Awesome. Look forward to having a beer with you.
Are you just trying to get that information so you can scare me out against if you play me or not, or what?
Yeah, for sure. Now, next thing you know, I'm just typing away as we're speaking. No, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. I know I'd seen your name because Rebeski's been putting things out about all the teams, and I saw your name up there as coach. So that's why I was curious.
No, it should be a fun time.
Absolutely. Let's talk. Just we only got 5 or 10 minutes left. Nationwide lacrosse with your cousin Turner.
Yeah, you know what?
And the program.
Yeah, it's. I'm just coming back from teaching elementary school right now, but me and Turner kind of thrive off of teaching kids at the beginner level and exposing the game. We go into 100 elementary schools throughout the year. We run summer lacrosse camps, but we go into schools, and that's probably the best thing I like is going into elementary schools, and you're dealing with kids that never get exposed to the game of lacrosse, never get to pick up a stick. And then you go and teach them, and they're having the best time ever, and they just love the sport. And then you see some of these kids talk to you the next time you come back, and you're like, they signed up for lacrosse. They got a stick now. They're a little bit more exposed. They're watching the game. I think more people got to do that to kind of continue to grow the game of lacrosse and get more people exposed to lacrosse in general. But just to see the thrill and kids' faces and that love the game and get to pick up the game and enjoy it. So just teaching kids at the youngest level and the beginner level and through camps, through schools, is just something we've been doing for the last 12 years. You know, I started with Brad Self. Brad moved to Colorado. Turner took over. He's a great pickup, great leader, awesome with the kids, and we've been just building it year by year and just continue to do what we do.
Right. I want to get your opinion on the State of the Union for the NLL, since you've been there through all different eras and different commissioners, and where it is now from where you began. Because way back when it was, open up the doors, throw down a carpet, and pray that people come to the games. Now there's a whole lot more layers and a whole lot more structure. So where do you see this going? Do you see it becoming a full-time gig?
I definitely see it coming. With time, it's going to become a full-time gig. You're looking at, like, if you look at our game and the goals that are being scored and the fast pace and the excitement, Buffalo getting sold out crowds, Colorado getting sold out crowds, like, people love the game of lacrosse. And you know what? If you're, I don't know how many people I've talked to that went to their first game and just loved the game and picked it up right off the bat. They came back and got season tickets. So the game of lacrosse will grow. The salaries are getting higher. You see Dane Smith and some of those guys getting 100 grand salary. Of course, I retire and the money starts going up. But but some of these contracts are getting higher, and some of those guys signing those big contracts are only going to push them to go higher and for these other clubs. So you definitely see it growing. I know the commissioner's coming in there, and I think he's doing a great job right now, and maybe adding another team in. And I see Ottawa or New York moving to Ottawa next year. So they're trying to find those markets that they're going to thrive in, and the owners that they're backing up as well. So, no, I see nothing but good things happening in the future, and I'm just hoping I can hop on board and help a team out here eventually coaching.
Sure. What do you think the problem is with MSL in getting people? I love the MSL game and WLA game. I love the summer ball, and to me, it's even more fast paced and more exciting. So why can't we seem to get, other than Peterborough and out in the Victoria in the West, why can't we get lots of butts in the seats? Do you think? Is it just the
I don't
weather?
know. I don't know if it's more of the summertime where a lot more people are doing things, or it's just doesn't have that. Some arenas don't have that that appeal to, like, the NLL arenas. They're like that big arena you're going into. There's a show that goes with it.
Right.
So I think there's different cities that doesn't really have that same part to it like the NLL. But it's been something that's been going on. It's one of the oldest leagues ever. So the history behind it is what players play for, and if players go out to, or if fans go out to a game and go and support their team, they're gonna love it. But I just don't know what the if it's weather wise, or if it's cottage time, or just different aspects, team or kids that are playing all over the map, different sports in the summer. I don't know what it is, but I would like to see it get a little bit bigger.
Shawn, is that why you were interested in playing in Vegas, because of what it's like, what the event is like?
Yeah, I think I wanted to go play in Vegas. That's why I was hoping Shawn Williams would, just kind of have that Las Vegas, that end of my career, in one of the biggest sports towns, that hosts everything there, and the events that they put on there, and just have that finish kind of high on that high note, and playing one of the sports capitals of the world, where all the biggest events happen, would have been great. But yeah, that's kind of part of it. I kind of wanted to go in there, and I think the fans there would have loved me, would have loved my game, and they seem like they're that gritty fans down there as well. So unfortunately, didn't get the call from them. So
it just goes to show. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, with the lacrosse going into the Olympics, just before we end here, what's your opinion on sixes?
I think sixes is kind of the right way to go about it. I would have liked to see maybe the field lacrosse, the shot clock, and a little faster play in there. But I think the sixes brings that component, the fast pace, that kind of box style in the, kind of the field setting. I think it's going to be great. I think every country can get behind it and can play that style. So I think it's going to be great. I think it's going to be a great exposure, great opportunity for the lacrosse world being in the Olympics. And I'm excited for it, and I'm hoping I can I think as I was asked by Team Switzerland to kind of help out in that aspect down there as well. But I would love to be on board for the Olympics for the 2028, just to have that experience.
I think it'd be amazing, and I think it'd be amazing to have your mind in there as well as your athletic ability. I really want to thank you for taking the time with us. This is a really quick hour. I wish you all the best. I look forward to seeing you next week and watching you play.
You got it. Oh, thanks for having me on, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Shawn. Really appreciate what you're doing, both you and Gary. Gary, thanks for doing this. Shawn as well.
Thanks, guys. Have a great day.
Yep.
Take care, Shawn.
All right. For Gary Groob and Shawn Evans, I'm Candid Frank Stanisci. Thank you for watching NLL Talk. Seen live Thursdays at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This show can also be heard on the Spanglish World Radio Network. For lacrosse talk, news, entertainment, and other sports programming we offer, please check out spanglishworld.ca. Spanglish World. Watch it here, read it, download it, live it. Thank you for watching, and don't forget Candid Frank Stanisci, 10:30 on YouTube. Have a great day, everyone, and pick up a stick. Check out lacrosse.